Hey, ladies and gents. G'day, g'day. Welcome, welcome. How are we lovely people doing today? Hope we're all doing well. Looking forward to seeing what we can come up with moving forward here today. So guys, as always, it's time to get this show on the road. As always, here we go. Sorry, keep you waiting. Good afternoon. Hold on. Let's get this music sorted. Music doesn't want to play ball. There's always something, isn't there, guys? Every single day, there's always something that doesn't want to play ball. Here we go. All right. I think that's all right. So without further ado, guys, as always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very, very, very good evening, no matter where you are around the world. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another edition of the London session. Once again, let's see what we can come up with moving forward here today on gold and any other pair as per request. We'll also have a look at, obviously, GJ, have a look at the DAX, and as per request from you guys as well. Let's quickly take a look at the news, guys, moving forward in this massive week of news ahead of us. Starting today really with the schedule news. We've got JOLTS openings, so looks like it forecast is for it to be less new job openings than the previous month, so that would be a negative, I would have thought, for the US dollar. So that's something to keep an eye on moving forward into MY session for those who are trading it. Also, we've got tariff deals being done, some not so good by the sounds of it, which is caused obviously a bit of a reaction in the majors. The euro taking a bit of a hit, as has the Aussie dollar, the pound. So we'll have a look at all that too, but that's something to be wary of moving forward throughout this whole week, guys. The end of the month as well. We did have contracts, options contracts expiring yesterday as well, so perhaps that's why it's also a little bit slow moving forward here today, as mentioned by one of our members yesterday in a members only private call. So we'll see anyway, guys. Without further ado, guys, if you could, make sure to smash that like button. YouTube, you know the drill. TikTok, hit that screen for me, hit it. Let's get the masses onto the stream, and guys, let's have a good one. And let's start with the gold moving forward. So having a look at the gold, guys, what we can see is the weekly is obviously forming a strong bearish candle. We do have already a lower high, lower low to the previous. So again, that would likely be the case in this sort of situation off the back of the rejection of the previous weekly candle. Normally what is the follows a candle that create a bit of an upper wick and then begin to break the low of the previous candle, which is exactly what we've done so far. So what we're going to do is just mark in the current weekly candle's low. We're going to see what we've got below that point there and make our way down to the daily time frame. So on the daily, obviously we do have that previous daily closing yet again, strong bearish. Have we tapped into the support here on the daily? Right on it, literally tapped right into it. All right, so could it be a potential level where price reverses from? Perhaps, but we need to see what sort of confirmations we may have to suggest that to be the case. Normally in this situation, for me to trust it, that this could be the lowest point of the current push to the downside, would be waiting for simply a daily candle to close back bullish, and then look for the following candle to create obviously a higher low, higher high, and begin to break. And at that point, it's likely that we're going to continue reverse yet again and end up back near the resistance at some point. So long as we respect that previous daily candle's low, I do believe that we could potentially continue bullish. So we'll mark in the current daily high as well, and we're going to see what we got above that point if there is to be any potential continuation buys above the high. Now onto the 4 hour time frame, and once again looking at the structure now on the 4 hour, and we are technically bearish in structure. Have we tapped into a previous level of support to the downside? Not quite here, guys. Still got potential room, in my opinion, to the downside. So we're going to mark in the lows here at 32.90 roughly, 32.89 to 32.82. So really that could be a potential target if price did begin to break below that previous daily candle's low, the most recent level of support formed on the 4 hour time frame. So we'll just mark that in as well. We've just closed the 4 hour candle. What we are doing is looks like we are exhausting a little bit at some previous level of support here to the left. So far respecting that level and acting as resistance, which we'll have a look at shortly on the minor time frame. So we can argue it's at a pretty strong level of previous support here to the left hand side Making our way down to the 15-minute time frame, we are again bearish in structure on this particular time frame here. 15-minute structure is also, guys, technically bearish so long as we remain below this swing point at 33.30 roughly. We are technically bearish on the 15-minute time frame, but within the current daily we are forming bullish. We have respected so far the low of the previous daily candle, so within the current daily we are forming some structure to the upside. Above the resistance we have some pretty clean traffic to the left, so at this point it looks like we have just swept the Asian session high. We are now popping back below the Asian session high. So if we remain below this resistance, I feel there's a higher probability that we're going to end up back near the daily low. So we're just going to mark in some further levels here to the left hand side. Now, got another level just here. So we're going to have to see whether or not we do have actual margin. Look for any entries. So yeah, we've definitely got the margin below most recent support formed at 33.1460. Price was to begin to pop below that point there, having grabbed liquidity from the highs of the day, only to reject, pop back below the support. At that point, I would look for a potential sell to take it back down towards the daily candle's low. Now, back of that, would it be the worst option to take a sell upon the candle closing here? Probably not, to be honest. It's riskier because you're not clearing any support. This is something we see happen on the regular, where price will break the Asian session high or low, and if it tends to pull back into the range it's come from, what generally happens is we end up back at the low of the range itself, which is exactly what happened yesterday. So I'm just putting that out there, guys. That is entirely up to you guys if you are willing to accept that risk or not. But otherwise, at this rate, it looks like we're going to be looking for some sells below 33.1460. So I'm just going to mark that level in already. Aside from that, further sell options, seeing if we do pop below just below the daily low to support at 33.0668. At that point there, we also got some very clean candles back down towards the previous daily candles low. That will be another potential entry point for some sells below that point there. And otherwise, guys, what I'll be doing is looking for some buys, and the buy options will be preferencing pulling back to the lower part of the minor time frame support around at 33.10, and look for some more support to form above that point there. And otherwise, what I would also look for is, like the fact that we're triggered in some sellers up at the daily high, and if we were to now wipe those sellers out, pop back above, then perhaps we'll just grab some more liquidity from within this range below in order to continue bullish. So the buys above resistance at 33.2154, the current daily candles high, would also be an option I would contemplate moving forward. So that, is the gold, guys, for me. Hopefully it makes sense. How do I get rid of full screen now? Oh, here we go. Being computers, I am shit with technology. So half the time I press something, I don't know how to revert it back. So that's gold, guys. Hopefully it makes sense. So if anyone interested in an early option, if it does close back bearish, what you do is you'd have your stop above the swing high, and you'd probably be targeting the low of the range. That is like maybe a small entry, smaller risk entry that you could potentially be looking at on the closure of this candle. Yeah, so that's one option. Anyway, guys, let me send my team a link just quickly, and then we can maybe move on to have a look at other pairs and say good day to everyone in the chat. So if you're keen on that early entry, guys, what I'd be doing is just waiting for this candle to close, wait for the new one to create an upper wick, and at that point you can probably look for an entry. But you don't, last thing you want it to do is pop back up here and close very weak, because that could suggest that we're just grabbing some more liquidity from this range below in order to make the move to the upside here. So just be careful with it, guys. Not the strongest confirmation just yet. Just want to wait to see how this candle closes, and then we can move on to have a look at GJ and any other pair as per request. In the meantime, thank you to the 90+ of you on TikTok stream, to the 5 new followers. Thank you. I'll get to you guys in the chat shortly. To YouTube, welcome to the few of you on stream. Renko, Tony Gold, Lau, Bartman, Nev, appreciate you guys, welcome. All right, so it looks like we're closing above the bodies of the candles here to the left. That to me is not a strong enough confirmation to sell. If anything, that to me suggests that we've likely grabbed some more liquidity from the downside. So my play here will be to wait for London open now. And if we are above this resistance, then I'd be satisfied we could continue to push bullish and look for a potential buy option. That is my plan. So let me now move on and let's have a look at GJ. All right, so it's cleared some of this mess. Mentioned yesterday on an education call with my team, usually in this situation when we see a pair in higher time frame consolidation, I would just avoid it until it's made a move out of it. Looks like we are starting to do that on GJ here. We've got the weekly bearish, current weekly also now flipping and forming bearish, just marking the low of it. Move on to the daily time frame here, which is bullish, but the counter probabilities are bearish. We're at a support at the lowest point of this week to the left hand side. So if we begin to break the daily low, I do believe there's a good chance we could continue to the downside onto the 4 hour. Once again, this is where I start to look at the structure itself, and that still remains bearish. We keep respecting the last significant lower high, keep rejecting it. But as we can see, we're at a very strong level still in the 4 hour time frame within a 4 hour zone, but we'll see on the minor time frame if there is any clean areas within it. All right, so what I would be now just doing, yeah, there really isn't much to the downside, unfortunately. Go back to the 4 hour just quickly. So it is lowest point of bullish candle. Yeah, for me on GJ, considering where we're currently at, don't see any real options to sell until back below 197.430 unless it's upon the pullback. So what I would prefer to see on GJ is structural flip on a 30-minute time frame bullish at 4 hour support and look to buy it. It is a strong support. You'll be forming some structure to the upside upon the confirmation of the M30 flipping back bullish on a closure above this point here. So if that was to be the case and we start to close above 198.058, also above the 198 psychological round number as well, being at strong 4 hour support, for me, that is what I prefer to do. Look for the buy option from above that point there. Now, aside from that, seeing the actual bias is still quite bearish. If we in fact pop up and begin to reject, then perhaps I'd be looking for sells from higher up here on GJ as well. Let's see, sort of, yeah, it's a 4 hour level. Change it to gray. And that would be the other option I'd be looking for is rejection sells. And that is how I would personally be looking at GJ moving forward here today. For those who do want to know my opinion. Sorry. That's GJ. Wow, gold, I got a big gap in the downside in that candle. Let's see, what's it doing on the 15? All right, my broker's open with big gaps down. All good. All right, let's have a look at German 40, and then I'll say g'day, or sift through the chat, the TikTok chat, and answer any questions. So looking at German 40, big sell-off as well off the back of the EU news, which wasn't so favorable in regards to trade deals. I think they got slugged a little bit more than they anticipated, and a lot of the key speakers out of the euro, obviously the leaders aren't too impressed with the deal that was agreed upon. So I don't think all of it's been agreed upon just yet. But anyway, looking at the weekly, we are forming strong bearish daily. Very nice strong closure in that previous daily candle. Pretty much a catalyst as well. Closed below the bodies, not quite below the support itself. Still a very strong closure. So if we mark in the previous daily candle's low and we begin to break it, I do feel there's a high probability we would continue bearish the 4 hour. Similar to gold just here, making a bit of a pullback. Difference is it's actually tapped into a support, making that pullback. Gold still has room to the downside, but we are tapping into a previous level of support, which could turn and could act as resistance. So let's perhaps just mark that in. And we'll make our way down to the 15. We know we are still technically bullish though in structure on the 4 hour time frame. So yeah, for me, the 15 is at a level where I would look for options to take a sell. You could have a pretty strong confirmation in 10 a bit minutes if it doesn't go just yet. So if this candle closed bearish engulfing, I would personally favor the sells from the current level. The sells below this point here. And if it closes significantly engulfing, then you may want to look for a limit order as price taps into like that bullish candle. Stop loss above the swing, target back at the support, and that is my opinion of German 40 for anyone who is interested. Back to gold, guys. We're waiting for 10 minutes now, see where we are for session open, and let's have a good one, team. In the meantime, Tony Gold, do we have news events starting to? Yes, we do, mate. We do. We've got Jolt's job openings, which is a pretty big one as well. Marco, thank you for the sticker once again. Appreciate your support as always. Lobbed, thank you for the stickers. Do appreciate it. And let me go through the TikTok chat, just see if I've actually missed anything. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to say g'day, guys. Don't be shy, both TikTok and YouTube. Regu, barcode. Yeah, in a minute. It is barcoding. We could have a confirmation though, surely. DS Nivek, g'day to you. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Welcome as always. Arafin, hope you're well, brother. Welcome, welcome. Luca, trading on this type of news is crazy. Crazy work. Not easy, but the news, actual schedule news, isn't for a few hours yet, so we've still got time. Arafin, have you heard of that new Zora app? Not at all, to be honest, my friend. Send me a DM about it if you can at some point. Same point. Sell. Jamie. Okay. Yep. A great single day to you. Hope you're well. Welcome as always. Tommy Tex USDT trading view. Yeah, I'm not going to look at low cap cryptos. Tim, gold is broken. Yeah, it's breaking, but it's still, there still isn't a strong enough confirmation just yet. Essentially, we're just coming from consolidation, so we need the confirmation. Ryan, thoughts on EU high time frame liquidity sweep, bullish high time frame fair value gap? Don't trade fair value gaps, but I will give you my thoughts on it. Yeah, well, it's breaking a lot of this support, and the way I see it, it's still technically bullish in structure on the daily, but I don't focus so much on the structure on the daily anymore. Also the counter probabilities, which are bearish, and we are breaking some strong support here as well by the looks of things. So I'd like for it to pop back up and begin to pop back above this most recent resistance. So respect the current support, which lines up with some very strong sell liquidity here on the EM30. So the back of that, likely at some point price is going to pull back to that like a magnet, and it's going to trigger in orders to either side. If we begin to wipe those sellers out and pop above, that's when I believe we're going to make a pullback, and perhaps we'll just grab liquidity from the downside. Looking to the downside just now, we are once again at some pretty strong support here. So I'd be marking in this entire level. Yeah, you need to close below it, and if it does, you want the closure below, and then you definitely want the retest just to confirm it. There's no, I mean, it's not 100% foolproof. There is no such thing with trading, but if it does close below, pull back to retest and begin to pull away, it's of higher probability that it will continue bearish, and that's a good way to avoid the fake out. Something we covered on yesterday's education call with the team. Otherwise, if it does pop back above, pop above the resistance here at pretty much 116 flat, that is where I'd like to look for buy opportunities. Could be a longer term hold. How long have we got left for this how it's closed? So it's the hourly as well, so we'll have a look at that. All right, looks like a little bit of a liquidity grab potentially on the hourly from the downside. If we close up near our high, seeing we have triggered in sellers prior to it, we're wiping those sellers out. The options moving forward for the London session are going to be either option A will be a limit order. That is option A. Option B will be the continuation buy. So let's have a quick look at the 5 minute, not yet closed above. like we're about to, we really like to see a pull back. To be honest, session open would rather actually tap back in. The option B would be the continuation buy above the high. So once you got the confirmation of a closure above, and that will be pretty much the two potential options. If it does present, if it fails and closes below, then it's literally a wait and see thing yet again. That's what I'd be looking at. I'm just going to remove that so people aren't mistaken, don't think I'm in a trade at the minute. Yep, so Mihai, that's my outlook on EU. Humble gold. So we're waiting to see London open, how this candle closes. Are we once again grabbing liquidity? I'll tell you what, guys, if this closes weak bullish, I'm going to look to sell it. I reckon I'll look to sell it to break the low of this candle, because a few times we've wicked to the upside. Previously, you would have had the resistance at that point there. And we've obviously broken it a few times, only to pull back below it. If we reject yet again, that to me suggests that there is a good chance we're heading back down. Once again, we're grabbing liquidity from the daily high in order to potentially push back bearish. So it's a bit of a wait and see here. If we close off the resistance, I'm happy to look for buy options. If we close right near our open of this 15-minute candle, I'm going to look for a sell option. So long as we create a decent upper wick prior to it, I'm going to look for a sell. Davis, g'day to you. We'll go lower potentially. Bikatu, EU sell. Yeah, just went over EU. Would possibly be in sells already. Humble, where would I place entry on gold? Just depends. It all depends, because I see potential options in either direction, just depending on the closure. Tim, why do some traders add layers when trade is going against them? Well, that's a particular strategy. The martingale strategy. Some trades will layer into losing positions. I don't do it. At times I will layer into a trade, take a slightly early entry, but as the candle creates the weakening opposite direction, then take the next part entry as it breaks with momentum, for instance, in the same candle. But it's not something I do. But it's just the way of, I suppose, layering the risk into the trade. But it's very, very risky, because a lot of time they don't do it calculated. They just add another full position. Yeah, and they get margin called and they get stopped out, and that's it. Your account's gone. All right, so let's keep an eye on this, guys. Will we be looking at sells? And if we do reject, I will be looking for a sell the theory, based off the theory that perhaps we should grab liquidity from the daily high in order to make a deeper pullback. Now, based off that, I'd be looking roughly, if this is to be the lowest point of the current 15, I'd be looking at an entry roughly at 33.1890, roughly. So that will change, because we just created a lower low. Ah, man, we don't want to melt just now. A minute and a bit left. Last thing we want.
Hey, good morning, Justin.
Hi, mate. How are you?
How are you? Yeah, fine. And you?
All good. All good. Just contemplating some potential
there's
sells.
something ongoing also on the Dixie.
Yep.
So there's some movement there.
Fair enough.
So I would also expect to see some going downwards gold.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking for a potential sell. So long as we create an upper wick at session open, I'd be looking to sell the low of the current candle. So roughly 33.1790, but it's just creating a low low. Has to leave a low wick as well, guys. Every time it creates a lower low just when you set it up. What are you doing? You're killing me. I'm gonna melt. You've got to be joking. All right, do we have margin now? Dust. Not really. Now it's melting. It's funny game, this Forex trading, isn't it? Look at that. And just to top it off, it's left a low wick. Momentum, oh man, this is quick as anything. You have to be in, guys. It's gone. You gotta be in. There's no, it's just that quick. That was the entry. Hopefully some of you may have got in, but it was just quick as anything, guys. You literally just have to sell it. Plan correct, 100% correct. But sometimes it's just, because when you're scalping, for me, I'm waiting for the confirmation. So we're tapped into support, so just be very careful. I'm waiting for the closure. That's my confirmation. So it happens to be this. Sorry, mate?
At the end, there's not really a margin there. So it pushed too much down.
Not really, but I mean, off the momentum, you could have just gone with a stop loss safely above the high of the current candle. Very risky, but using momentum, using just intuition as well at that point. And that would have been a really quick scalp for, by the looks of it, 15 or so pips out and drawdown. Yeah, about 16 pips or so. Anyway, too quick, so not for me. Plan was correct. Hopefully some of you may have got involved. Phil, thank you for the sticker, mate. The bullet can never understand gold. It's quick. Dollars flying. Yeah. Excuse my French, but Euro, Aussie dollar, they're absolutely capitulating. The only one's got a little bit of strength against the pound. Wow, that was way too quick. Way too quick, guys. What do you do? All right, let's wait. Let's reassess. If we now maybe grab liquidity from the downside, there's still a similar plan. If we reject again, we still might be able to get involved in higher up, sells from higher up. If we begin to close above, then obviously I'm going to be looking at buys. J1 trades, you got daily imbalance that needs to be filled. Fair enough. Don't trade any of that imbalances, fair value up. So, yep. Don't see, is it a sell? Was a sell, but that was just way too quick. What is Web3? Web3 is basically all the crypto stuff, isn't it? I don't know, I'm not into that stuff, mate. I'm struggling with Web 1 if this is what Web 1 is. So don't ask me about Web 3. What is Web 2 then? We skipped a number there. Olivia, I've been loving trading in the Asian session lately. Don't have, yeah, Asian session for the most part is fantastic. I just choose not to trade it because I like to do other things off a day in my time. But to be honest, I do agree. I think Asian session usually provides many clean opportunities. Have a look at NASDAQ. Not really doing anything, to be honest. It's just consolidating above previous resistance. This is a markup from yesterday, by the way. For me, NASDAQ's very, very bullish, extremely bullish. Yeah, would I consider something below there? Probably not. I'd probably just be patient, wait for pullback buy. Yeah, the way I would play it in such a strong uptrend is just wait for it to pull back or look for continuation buy. So for me on NASDAQ, I'd be looking for potentially layering into an entry. I suppose when something's in such a strong uptrend, almost worth having some limit order set. Maybe one at this support, another one at the support a little bit lower down. Perhaps a stop loss well below the following swing point. And otherwise, I'll be waiting for a closure above the resistance here for some further buys. Ali, it's volatile, waiting on news. Yep. Arafin. The moment, CRV. Nothing special. I'm not a big car person. I know shit about cars as well. Ask me about fitness, about training, and I'm on your man. Nutrition. World economy, a fair bit. I like to think. Not obviously no guru, but do keep a close eye on things. Alex, thank you. Alex, thank you for the stickers. Naif FX things naturally. What pairs do you trade? Gold. Gold is literally the only pair at the minute. Well, the only asset I trade. Spot gold. Ali gold, gem and 30 best. Yep. Gem 30, 40. All right, rejection. So, wow. Look at that. It's popped straight back up. This thing is an absolute beast, especially at session open. Especially at session open here. If it creates that double top formation, pretty much has, I suppose. If it does reject here, I mean, it's still pretty good for sell options. So, Arif, you say only have trade when you get that confirmation. What would you want to see if you take that? How do you get rid of these damn side guts? Cut out the sugar. Don't drink, and also just drink water. Trust me, that will do wonders for your waistline. Cut out the sugar. Even natural, I mean, natural sugar is still good, but just not a whole heap of fruit. Add more veggies than fruit. A lot of protein, lower the carbs. Still need some carbs. I wouldn't cut it out completely, but focus on more on the low GI sort of stuff, low release, not the empty sort of carb crap. Yeah, for me it's just cutting sugar out simply, and that's what it was. I've never been big, I've never had a gut, but I mean, as far as keep good shape, just I don't add sugar to anything. So yeah, so I want a confirmation prior to any trade, 100%. And this was one. It was just way too quick. It was lightning fast. I mean, you guys saw it. E3, good day to you. Emma, do you trade MY? Yeah, well, I don't trade the session itself. I trade pre-MY. Generally speaking, Tuesday and Wednesday more so than any other day with the team. Yesterday, we had an education session, which lasted all up just over an hour. In the end, we had a really good chat. The charts were crap. If the charts were okay, I would have looked for an entry, but the charts were shit at that point. And yeah, Thursday is pre-MI, if anything. Never been a big fan of MI, to be honest. Much prefer Asian session and London session. You know, BTS, so it's a sell, was a sell. It wouldn't be selling it just now. Could be more sells below this support though. Inside XAU 33.60, 33.36.52. Nice one. Well, yeah, well done. All right, GJ's tapped into that level. We are rejecting it. We want to be above it. So once again, a slow start to the week, guys, but it's a massive week of news, a huge week of news. You need to be very careful trading this week. So for Abdi, buys or the minute it's or Unk effects, got a sell. It was a sell, but again, right now we're at support, so I'd be waiting to see how price reacts to it. YouTube, how are we going, guys? If you could please hit that like button. Numbers are back down shit again on YouTube. Yeah, help me out, guys, on YouTube. If you can, hit the like button. You guys on TikTok, at some point, I don't need you guys to sub to the YouTube channel. Reason being is because once I head to my second home in 2 weeks from now, it's very hard for me to stream on TikTok. Last time I got banned, I lost the account for like 6 months. Even with a VPN, it bypassed it. So at some point, it would be good for you guys to jump across to the YouTube platform and just exact same as my profile name, guys. I'll type it in. Let's look up that as my profile name and look at gold dump. Take the piss again today, isn't it? All right, let's see what options we may be able to get involved in. Humble, no, couldn't get involved in time. Arafin, search up Zoro RQ, see what it's about. Yeah, not while I'm on stream, mate. Yeah, I gotta be careful because it could trigger the bots to ban me as well. So Humble made some profits, nice one. Arafin, not a problem, mate, not a problem. All right, so next potential option is want this 15 to close strong bearish below, and we could have a potential limit order sell. Johnny Shins, what pair? This is spot gold. All right, so the low is of this support 33 14 62, so 33 13 82 62, sorry, is where we want to close below in order for there to be a valid limit order sell. Free on my broker.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to
The Bitcoin still on the way back up. ETH as well. Altcoins, a little bit of a pullback in the alts, but otherwise for the most part still seem to have a lot of strength behind them. Anyway, back to the goal, guys. Jazz sell, maybe.
They wanna sing my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no
UK is falling to bits. Mayor of London is so hated. Arafin. Sounds like Australia, to be honest, mate. No one knows how the Prime Minister retained his position. Apparently no one voted for him. I didn't vote for him. There's no way I voted for that guy. What a flog. Not that he got the majority vote. It was, he only got 37%, but he gets all the bullshit from the other parties, which make up his Labour Party. In the end, the votes go to him, the Labour Party. Oh man, gold is going to make the move. Sorry, excuse the language. All right, next options, buys from support. That's the move, guys. The sells are done. There's no sells just now, so it's all good. Not to worry. Not to worry. So we're going to be looking for likely for buys from support just now. You could still hold on a sec. Hold on, it's pulling back a bit. like it's pulling back too far. May not even close below the level we wanted to close below. Not even going to close below. Has to close below 62, remember guys. 1362. And it's not done that. After all that, gold is taking a piss. Everything's impulsive. So I need to chill. And that's what I'm going to do. Just going to wait. Haven't even got the confirmation in the end. After it looked like we we're going to tap into a target about a minute before. Lots of volume, guys. It is highly volatile out there. It's tricky. This is again something we discussed with the members yesterday, knowing times where it's probably best just to chill and stay away from the markets. This week is pretty much one of those weeks, to be honest, with all the news about, plus the tariffs, talk of tariffs in the background. From what I heard, what I understand, apparently they're going to delay again on a certain, well, for certain countries. China, apparently, another 3-month wait and see period. And tough times on the charts. I think, yeah, bro, was now slowly people starting to question them and notice more and more. Who knows what they got planned? Oh, mate. Anything, who knows, but won't put anything past them. Morgs, TP, I would have it at 33.10, 33.10, 60 roughly. Lashonda trading for 8 years, more than 8 years. And again, this is experience. I know when, again, just following my rules, waiting for the confirmation. There are times where it's tough. You just don't get it. If I was to sit here for like treat like a full-time job and sit here for 8 to 10 hours a day staring at the charts, yes, at some point I'm going to get an entry. There is, I would hazard a guess, at least 95% chance I'd have at least 1 or 2 or 3 entries if I just sat here 8 hours, 10 hours straight of a day. But I choose to sit in front of the computer for between 2 and 4 hours max. And look for a potential entry if it presents. Sometimes the plan is correct, but it just doesn't tick the box in accordance to the rules. This one did tick the box. It was just way too quick to execute upon. This one hasn't even ticked the box by the end of it. Not quite tapped into that level anyway, so.
Justin.
Yeah, mate. What's
what
up?
do you think about what do you think about GU? So it's quite difficult for the moment, but I see we have closed below a H4 support, and then we we go up on the M30 to touch again the support, and now we are creating a weak bullish candle.
Yeah.
And maybe also a weak bearish candle. So what about some sells on GU?
Yeah, I'd be waiting for this candle to close.
That's for sure.
Yep. If this closed like so, perfect. You got to pause if retest that zone. A weak pause as well. So impulse sells, in my opinion, would be valid. Yep, for sure. I think it looks good.
Okay.
Still got clean traffic as well.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I like that. Very clean, mate. Very clean. GU. Also, there's some nice entry points for buys back above.
Yeah, this area.
Yep. Yep, I like it. Just need to wait. Under 11 minutes now, and we'll see.
Yeah, thank you.
Not a problem, mate. And look at gold.
I took an early entry on gold before the session opened.
Oh, okay. How'd it go?
To the other side.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I got wrecked. So
oh, okay.
I closed it. It was 10 pips in minus. Yeah. So
it's not
it
too
was
bad.
looking good. Yeah, it was looking not bad at the end. So we closed bullish, correct there.
Yeah.
And then we have a nice wick to the downside.
On
And
this
then we
candle?
broke the highs,
Oh,
correct.
okay.
And then we broke the highs, and then I was involved there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was okay, or the entry was okay. So it was not against the rules and nothing. So
yep.
but it went to the other direction at the end.
Yeah, I don't see a lot wrong with it. To be honest, I think it's something I would consider. Yeah, I definitely would consider it, to be honest. So if it created a decent lower wick and begun to break, I may have taken the entry had I been on the charts, but
my M30 time frame looks different to yours. So for me,
okay.
it closed above the resistance. So considering the wick of the bearish candle there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So that was the point for me. So everything was okay to take some buys there.
Yep. Well, at least either way, it's well managed. So just a small 10 pips. That's nothing huge.
Yeah.
All right, mate. We'll wait and see. I'm gonna be looking at the 5 minute here because I want to close above what I mentioned yesterday. Want a little bit of a 5 minute pause back above and price to break the high of that 5 minute pause. So the price action pattern I want to see here in the next 8 and a bit minutes is this candle's close like so on the 5 minute time frame, followed by something like that. And if that is to present, I will look for a buy as the next M15 creates a low wick and begins to break the high of the catalyst M15 candle. So that is what I'm potentially looking at if it does present. I think it's sort of 40 odd new followers. Do appreciate it, guys. Bad bunny, but it's it. Legacy short gold, fair enough. Zara, can I look at NASDAQ? Yeah, I can in a moment. Great Mud Flood 2.0, Arafin. NASDAQ. All right, gold pushing. Yeah, so I look at NASDAQ before. What I mentioned is it's very bullish. You'd be a very brave person trying to trade against the trend at the minute, unless it pops up to the 4 hour resistance and rejects. That is the only point that I would be comfortable trying to take some counter-trend sells. Without it doing so prior to it, trying to sell it, in my opinion, running a lot of risk, because it could, there is a high probability it needs to pull back up to grab liquidity from that 4 hour level before, if it is to make a deeper pullback, before that happening. So create that double top, that M sort of formation, begin to reject, and that's when you can go down to the lower time frames and look for maybe a little bit of support to form. As price begins to pop below support, you could look for a potential sell above that point there. Otherwise, I'd be just looking for pullback buys at the minute, whether it be above 23,420 or lower down 23,408, 405, that sort of region. And below that point is where you probably start to trust the sells more. That point will likely have a nice strong closure on the 4 hour back bearish as well, and at least it'll have one higher time frame candle closing back and in the same direction as the direction the counter trend entry. But otherwise, I'd just be strict and look to buy it. That's my personal opinion of it. Why is it? Or just lost the nice mountain sell? Well, you gotta be careful, mate. You're a little bit late to the sell party. There is no sell unless you're in from higher up, unfortunately. Obviously, think we'll go to the 4 hour demand zone below. There's a possibility at some point it will, especially seeing we are in a downtrend. Possibility for it to come to 32.90. Legacy, you're short. Lashonda, I've recently started and trying to work on psychology. Psychology is massive. So for instance here, had look in the past, even if it didn't tick the box, I just would have stuffed it. I'm just going to sell it. And yeah, sometimes it works. A lot of the time you're going to get wrecked. So have a plan, trade the plan, give it time, determine whether or not it works for you, obviously by reviewing your data, and you can have a look at the statistics. And if it does, you just got to trust yourself at that point, create some solid rules and make sure to stick to them. Don't jump in on anything impulsive, anything reckless, anything out of, you know, fear of missing out. You guys see it on the daily. I'm not afraid to not being in a trade. If it doesn't tick the box, I just chill. Discipline is huge. Once you can actually, you know, trade with discipline, trade the plan, and understand the importance of it, you're going to start to become a much better trader. Yeah, you're going to miss entries, and it's not as fun. Because it is fun when you're pressing a button, you're in and out for a few minutes and seeing your profit go up, but then there's going to be days where you see it go completely down if you're doing that sort of thing. But trust me, follow a plan. Right now, gold is very tricky, just up and down. Again, no clear direction. It is awkward, very awkward. Let's have a look at GJ here. All right, so we're closed above on the 15, not quite on the 30. Would this be an early entry? We've tapped into the resistance here. I don't put GJ to bed, to be honest. But for it to be valid, I feel you want to close right up near this level. Quickly look at German 40 again. So perhaps grab liquidity from the downside in order to continue bullish. All right. Interesting. GU. Let's go to GU quickly. All right, so it's closing quite strong by the looks of it. 30 still looks pretty good though. 30 looks okay for sells below. G will go lower. Yeah, potentially. Mellow. I think you meant EU. EU very bearish as well. So I'd be looking for pullback sells at the minute. It's made a big move. I wouldn't be as comfortable getting involved just now. You've at some support by the looks of it here to the left. Yep. Yeah, you're bouncing off at it. So I'd be looking for a pullback sell. Or a buy above 115, 116 flat basically. Gonna flip the structure on the minor time frame back bullish. All right, gold very tricky here. What mark am I on? GRM. This is gold, spot gold. Zara, all good. Marathon, never been hiking? Yeah, not for a long time. Since years and years ago. Egg Kosok Lysis. Neither Messi or Ronaldo. I don't we'll call it soccer, yeah. I don't watch it. I don't follow it. Probably own two that players actually know the name of. Like literally. The only other guy I knew was Timmy Cahill, Australian, but he doesn't play anymore. Harry Kuehl, they're long gone. Mark Viduka. All those Aussies, they're long gone from retired many moons ago.
GU looking good.
Rejecting?
On the M50 also.
Yeah, GU's looking really good. Looking the best at the minute.
Hopefully it will not. I broke the low.
Oof, volume. And gold, back down we go.
It's broke.
Half-fold session yet again here on gold, not offering thing, to be honest. Let me look at EA. Yeah, my sport, to be honest, well, again, fitness. It's all about the gym, fitness, training. Other than that, NBA. Ask me about NBA. I'll give you my opinion of the basketball. Aussie rules, don't follow it much anymore. Don't follow it at all anymore, to be honest. Partly because my team is shit house. Been shit house for what, literally 30 years now. EA, strong bearish. Gold is closed. Shit, I can just see it. It's horrible closure yet again. There is again no solid entry. My personal opinion here. Close back below. Have a look at 5 minute. 5 minute, you're at support. There's nothing on gold at the minute. How about GU? How'd that go, Franco? What's it?
No, I didn't took it, so
Oh, it's gone upward.
Going down with our upper wick, correct. Still no entry for me.
Tough, isn't it?
It's very tough. Because it's difficult if it's going more down and more down. So to re-enter at the end on the rebroke of the low, so
Yeah. It's just
too much. So it's moved too much already. 4 pips.
Fair enough. Need to wait again, reassess, and wait around.
Yeah.
All right, EA strong bearish weekly, low high, low low. Obviously, the Aussie's weakening the euro. And anything is when risk is off in the markets, the Aussie dollar dumps the hardest. It just dies completely. Probably NZ dollar as well. All right, daily counter probabilities to the downside at support. 4 hour likely at support is 2. We're going to mark in these lows for the time being, and let's quickly determine the structure. So to me, I would still call it just bearish. To me, it's rejected that last significant lower high just here. So long as it remains below that point there, I do believe it's still technically bearish. But we are at support. So the good thing is it's formed resistance just above the support. So that's a likely entry point if it does bounce off the 4 hour level. Not only that, at that point, by then, you will definitely have confirmation of the structure flipping bullish if it closes above. So I would just play it like this. If it does pull back and respect 178 flat, basically, I'd be looking for bells on the pullback. If it begins to pop above after bouncing off the 4 hour support, and I'd be looking for buys above that resistance into clean traffic. Likely that would grab liquidity from this higher time frame zone in order to make a deeper push back up, and likely just going to trade the 4 hour range at that point, maybe come back up to resistance. Other than that, I'd be looking for sells below the support. Does look pretty clean. Yeah, you got a little bit more support just there, but I do believe with the momentum, you get a nice strong closure. It is very bearish at the minute. They've got a nice strong closure below that point there, and it could be some nice sell opportunities. So trending quite strong bearish at the minute. Closure below, pull back, retest, and that would be the sell option on EA. Otherwise, not a great deal going on that particular pair at the minute as well. Back to the gold, and we are pretty much doing nothing. Very, very all over the place at the minute. Very choppy traffic. Diverse crypto metaverse. I'll put 1k and see where it goes for the fun. Fair enough. That's what you want to do. Go for it. Alex, you're in buying at 13, 14. All right. Fair enough. Araffin. You know what it is, bro. I think we get rich one day. That's how we blow it. Yeah, but again, we've tried the plan, stick to the rules, have a proven record. Things eventually can and will change. Is that buy or sell? At the minute, nothing. Gold's just being a bit tricky at the minute. A lot of volume early doors into the stream. Was very, very quick low. Too quick for me to even execute upon. Max train goal has been an absolute bloodbath for me this week. Yeah, see, I can understand why. For me, it's just been non-eventful because there's no clear entries. So a lot of people in trades, they're getting wrecked. Some are taking profits, I've got no doubt as well. But I'm happy just to chill and wait, in all honesty. No loss, no win, nothing at the minute. A quiet week. Last week was a quiet week, but it was a profitable week. A couple wins and that was it. No losses. So you just gotta, again, have a plan, stick to it. Sometimes you present, sometimes you just won't have a valid entry. Yeah, you're a CAD. Yeah. Well, it looks alright now, but for the most part, it just chops about. I used to love trading it, but not looked at it or trade it for a while. Strong bearish weekly, bearish engulfing, so already be looking at the current weekly. Is the CAD that strong? Or the euro that way? That must mean the Aussie is absolutely. It is worth a fall, to be honest. The strength, there is no strength in the Aussie dollar. But the euro is flying against the Aussie dollar. It's tanking against the CAD. Canadian dollar is not considered a safe haven currency at all. Anyway, strong bearish, counter probabilities to the downside on the daily, breaking support 4 hour. Definitely bearish in structure. Yeah, it's broken some support. Marking that resistance. Marking the next level of support here to the left. Clean traffic on the 4 hour time frame. Down to M30, marking the most recent support. And let's see if it is in fact clean below it. Let's just mark in a horizontal. Shift to the left. All right, so you got a little bit of minor support just below it, but otherwise you got pretty clean traffic. So good thing is it's triggered in some buyers, but what I would prefer again is to trade the pullback. Look for price to pop back up, the higher the better. Obviously we've got some sell volume up at around that 15920 roughly, so if it did pull back up to that level and reject yet again, I'd be looking for sells. I'd drag that down towards 159 130 basically and look for a sell upon that pullback. And otherwise continuation sells would make sense, but definitely wait for the closure below, pull back, retest, and there's your potential entry. Back to the gold, which is doing what it's done for the last few weeks during London session. Not much at all. Box go to you. Another choppy day. Yeah, it is. Arafin, can you say something in a deep Australian accent? What would you like me to say, mate? I got a pretty mild Aussie accent, to be honest. What do you think about AJ's crew? People in his signals group are getting absolutely wrecked lately. Who is AJ, mate? I have no idea. No idea who AJ is, to be honest. And again, good luck to them, because my opinion of signals is they're a waste of time. Tried a few different signal services back when I began. None of them were ever profitable. Not one. Yeah, I ran one for a fair bit. That was absolutely killing it, but it was just way too much. And I'm not the type that's going to sit there hunting trades all day. I hated it. It was such a pain. Literally for about 5 hours, I had to sit in front of the charts, and I absolutely hate it. What do I think about GU, John? Self hits. I don't trade it with indicators. Yeah, sells a bit late if you're not already in sells. Look at that. Yeah, consuming bearish. Wow, the sell off in the majors. This is crazy. What a pullback. Obviously, the markets aren't too impressed when it comes to the proposed trade deals pre-deadline. I think they all share. That's another thing they do. We didn't. We never did. But I definitely know of, because I mentioned it. I think I mentioned it yesterday. was part of a group, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it to, could have been to the guys. And there was another guy who got to know him. We're just, you know, sending each other messages back and forth between. And he had joined another signal service, and he said, bro, look at this. Exact same signals from 2 different groups. It was mainly crypto. Majority is crypto. A lot of them do, yeah, use each other's signals. Gold is nuts, man. This is crazy at the minute. You can see my MetaTrader. It's bearish 1 second and then flips and just pulls straight back up. It is so difficult at the minute. You better agree? Yep. Javech? Yeah. Gambling. Okay. Support and resistance for all. Yeah, I'm just going to remove that now. And in this situation, we want it either at the resistance or at support before looking for entries. In all honesty, I'm not going to look to trade in between because it's just a mess. It's very indecisive at the moment. Look at the 5 minute as well. It really has no clear direction. And what's likely to happen is I'm more likely to get wrecked if I try to use intuition in this sort of scenario without a proper signal at a proper level. Period. I've had a look at EU about 3 times already. So it's very bearish, but I'd rather look for a pullback sell. And buys are way off. Oh, yeah, this is a massive downtrend. Keeper, best Aussie brokerage to use, bro. Well, I personally believe I'll type in the chat. Low spreads. Cody, GJ, yeah, GJ. Oh, possible sells. It's flipped the structure bullish, but again, it's rejecting the resistance a little bit higher up. Yeah, what I would preference is the next M15 closing very weak bullish. That will close the 30 still below, and then if it breaks the low of that candle, I'd be contemplating selling it. Oh god, what a mess. Can't stress it, importance of patience, guys, in this situation. Yes, it's bloody boring, and you're thinking, but I've missed out. I could have made thousands today. I could have made hundreds, could have made $10, whatever it is. But there's every chance when a chart's like this and gold's in this sort of mood that you're going to get absolutely torn a new hole. In all honesty. From experience, guys. From experience. Hang on. So before the euro is strong against the Aussie, it's not strong against the Aussie, it's going down, isn't it? My bad. So the euro is the weakest of the lot in a minute. Obviously, they're the ones who have apparently agreed to a trade deal. I have no idea what our nuff leaders here have proposed. I don't even think Trump would recognize Australia as any importance, to be honest. We're just a laughing stock when it comes to our politicians. Marathon, thank you, mate, for the sub. Feel privileged. All good, mate. You didn't have to, but do appreciate M3M. Yeah, it's again, it's all on my profile page. But the community chats, just no one seems to chat. I'm more than happy to answer questions, but no one seems to use it. So where it's at is where obviously the VIP is. BTC, Sophie, BTC, very bullish and looks to be continuing bullish. As I mentioned, I just be trading this off the higher time frames, and to me, really, as long as it remains bullish in structure, which is above 107.50, then I'd be preferencing buys. I know there's a nice clean area below the wick here to the left, and 115 really. But to me, in this situation, we're just stuck in a range here on the daily and 4 hour. I'd look to layer in to positions. Probably would have had a limit order buy at 117.30 roughly, which doesn't look like it would have been triggered in. Otherwise, I'd probably have a limit order buy back at 115.70. And I just trade the trend, in all honesty. The 4 hour, you could argue the 4 hours bearish. So yeah, I mean, you could hedge your position if it did begin to close below 115 flat. It's also a psychological round number. It's likely at that point there that we're probably gonna make a deeper pullback, where I'd still be looking to buy it though from like lower down 111, 110, all the way down to, like I mentioned, 108, 107.50. As long as you remain above that on the daily time frame, I'd be more bullish on Bitcoin moving forward. It may pull back to grab liquidity from the downside before it heads back up. As we know, not everything can continue bullish without any sort of pullback. But this liquidity is also built up, or this, sorry, consolidation is a build up of liquidity. So often what we see is the markets will trend and then consolidate, build up liquidity, and then continue with the trend, make another push, and as we can see, consolidate again. So it could be just consolidating in order to have the volume, necessary volume to make the next push up. But again, a lot of what's going on with the news will impact crypto as well, seeing it is a risk on asset class. And if risk is all of a sudden off, then maybe expect a bigger pullback. If you want a lower time frame picture, maybe some limit order buys for around 118.50 and back at 117.750 roughly. I don't personally trade it though. That's what I would probably look at if I was to trade crypto. Hello, and I sell now if you want. D, patience is key. Lol, news later on, you may make it react, but gold so random as we know. Correct. Correct. In this situation as well, it's even more random.
Unless they make a big move to the upside.
Oh shit, it is pushing through the zone here. Yeah, wow. Bitcoin as well is moving. Maybe news out of proposed trade deals, maybe.
I know German 40 is also moving out.
Yeah, they're all FTSE, I'm assuming, as well. Not really. Who knows? At the minute, it's tough. Very, very tricky. It's really tricky.
I'm looking maybe on some German 40 on the rejection on the area which we are right now. Looking on the M50. That's a former, not to the left side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we can reject this area.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be personally very careful. But I know what you mean. It is still bearish in structure in this time frame, but I mean, the push of the minute is, there's lots of volume to the upside here.
Absolutely. So we need at least one engulfing candle.
Yeah, I
to
think you need,
these bullish candles.
I think you need a little bit more, in all honesty. The strength of this push, I would not try to sell against this momentum. Not in the minute. There's just too much volume to the upside. So
Yeah.
I feel you need
At
proper
the end,
rejection,
yeah.
a retest, low.
And
If you
need
were to take the risk, it's a different
this,
story.
yeah.
But yeah, that's
yeah,
what
that's the point. So it's I'm also not involved in this pair, so I will not put my hands on it. So
yep.
to you it's different, but on this pair, no.
Yeah, no, I'd be very careful trying to sell that. Very strong momentum to the upside at the minute. Gold is just chilling in the middle here. Weak M15. 5 minute looks terrible. Yeah, again, it's just really tough in a minute. I'm enjoying GC as well. KMT Marcus just doesn't want to include us today. Mentioned buying and selling point. Eagle effects owner. Again, I'm waiting for price to come up to either, well, down or up to either end of this range before looking for entries in a minute, because we're just really struggling. No clear direction whatsoever. So I'll be looking for a rejection of 33.20 for an entry signal back down, and price to bounce off 33.10 for an entry signal back up. Otherwise, I'll be looking for options either side of the resistance or support. That is my plan, because we're just, again, there is no clear direction. It looks like it's going to drop, melt, and it pops straight back up. So trading this particular range is very tricky. Extremely tricky. A lot of people be getting absolutely wrecked at the minute. Keep up. A real news to give gold a kick tonight, bud. Big move start. Yeah, there is some jolts, but that's 2 hours into NY session. That will likely impact. So it's obviously a new job openings out of the US, and it's supposed to be a negative. So off the back of that, maybe a bit of weakness in the US dollar, which would potentially mean gold push bullish and the majors could push bullish. Arafin, all good, mate. And thank you once again for the sub. Appreciate it, brother. You take care, and I'll chat to you. Nasdaq, yeah, I know it's pushing. Taz, Mania. Speed clips, what are you looking at? Chart minute. Again, waiting for it to price come up, grab liquidity from either resistance or support, or above it or below it. Right now, we're just very indecisive. M3M Z triple Y. How long before and after data release do you wait to trade? So pair that's got data release. Look, usually at least the first 30-minute candle. But for the most part, I mean, gold I don't trade into. I don't trade into MY. So usually the news is about 30 minutes after, minimum 30 minutes after the open. Sometimes 2 hours, sometimes well into MY session. I'm not on the charts for it to worry about it. But when I used to trade the pound, I was happy to trade it on the next candle. When I used to trade JJ. Norman VFX VIP. What is it? Signal. Goodbye, mate. And guys, just be careful. If anyone sends you a DM from this chat, just ignore it, block it, report it, because they're likely trying to screw you over. And that me too, because I won't send you a message directly. I will never initiate contact. If you guys want to contact me, say g'day or ask questions, feel free. But I will never ever initiate contact. Then you know. And if you want to know if it's the real account too, I follow one account. That's it. I only follow one account. I have what, about almost 9,000 followers at the moment. Not quite, 8,700 or something. The others have follow heaps of random accounts. Dupe, it's making high low high highs. Definitely buy. All right, so if that's what you think, good luck to you, my friend. For Basal, you think it's push up? It could do anything. At the moment, there's no clear direction. M3M, you try to wait 24 to 30 hours. Major data. Well, that's fair enough, but I mean, for the most part, you won't be trading because there's almost weekly, there's at least 2 or 3 days where you're gonna have high impact news for the NY session. That's just my thoughts, but I respect it. I do respect it. Pedro BTC, yeah, I mentioned before, I'd be looking to buy pullbacks. So first potential limit order 1850, 118 500. Market is very indecisive moment. M3M, all good. Yeah, pleasure. Alright, team. Well, charts are shit house. There is not much I can do about it, unfortunately. Again, not concerned whatsoever because I know a lot would be getting wrecked. Some would be taking some profits, and well done to those people. But again, for me, nothing really ticked the box. There was that entry there. It was just way too quick. Way too quick. But anyway, well done if anyone to get involved. Otherwise, guys, again, as I mentioned before, I just wait for price to either come back up to resistance, look for rejection to sell it back down, or come back down to support and look for price to bounce off for opportunities to take a buy. I have my confirmations I'll be waiting for. You guys probably have yours. Those who watch me trade on the regular, follow me for a while, will know pretty much what I look for in this situation. Otherwise, I want to see price close above the resistance or back below it. Much cleaner at those levels as well. Now is your options moving forward on the gold. That's what I would be paying attention to, but I am personally gonna go take a bit of a break, go have some dinner, reassess, come back with my team for pre-NY in a few hours time from now. Maybe keep a bit of an eye on charts in between. You guys, if you are to keep an eye, my members, let me know if you want my personal opinion or want to share your thoughts of what you're trading. I'm happy to have a look. Jump back on from NY docs. No, it's just with the team private. M3M, all good. So guys, appreciate the support. Goats, if we take sell GJ, what we need to look at resistance GJ. Well, would have want this candle's closed weak bearish, weak bullish, sorry. So signs of rejection. So for me, again, we'll flip the structure bullish in the M30. The buy is looking probably better at this point than sells. Potential buys above. If this closes strong bullish up near the high, I'd be looking to buy it personally if I was trading it. Upon the open of the new hourly, I was going to say, very low wick and begin to pop above the catalyst. So quickly look at the hourly time frame here. Hourly's going to close bullish above resistance. So yeah, GJ looks pretty good. For anyone interested, that would be a potential play on GJ. Yeah, so that's what I'd be looking at. All right, team, take care, trade safe, guys. I'll be back tomorrow.
Thank you, man. Enjoy your dinner.
Yep, I'll catch you later.
See you later.
See you guys. Bye. I'll be back tomorrow, guys, from the normal time, so about an hour and a bit before NY London Open. So then, guys, take care. Do trade safe. Again, just be chill. Just trade your plan. Much better off for it moving forward. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All the best. Bye, team.